Hello, I hope you are well. First of all, congratulations, you have managed to find the tiny corner of the internet that the HelloSim channel lives in. This is the wedding boutique build that I built a few days ago that is now on the gallery for you to download. So we're just doing a super quick tour. I did the building already, so I did one showroom with 2 changing rooms, and then there's going to be an apartment upstairs so that you don't have to leave. Your sim can stay overnight, because I know that on this get to work sometimes it's a bit of a hassle to go back and forth, so it makes it easier to stay overnight. So I went for a super modern a super modern theme. Lots of black and white. I tried to make the showroom really light, and actually I've made a little staging area so that you can come out of the changing rooms to your family or friends or whoever's watching. This is the idea. You know, I do know we're in Sims and it's all la fake land, but the idea is that you can come out and there's your family sat there and you can kind of show off like you're a bit of a model and you feel all special because you're going to be a bride or a groom or a bridesmaid or whatever it is you're dressing up for. So I'm just building now where I want all the basics. I actually completely, I got rid of the counter in the beginning and then I forgot needed to add it back in. So the counter may look a bit strange there near the steps, but hopefully I got away with it. I have 2 little window areas that I'm going to put some mannequins in, and the final shots I think show the mannequins fully dressed, but actually I had a little bit of trouble dressing the mannequins. First of all, I didn't realise that you had to have a maximum of 10 mannequins, or you couldn't have any more than 10. And then second of all, every time I would dress one of them, like one of the male mannequins, the others would change to the same outfit. So I was trying to do a few different outfits, and it didn't really work. So all the men have the same outfit on, and a couple of the women have the same outfit, but they're all meant to have different wedding themed outfits. It just didn't quite work, so we'll just ignore that fact again. So I think I only ended up with 1 mannequin in this window right at the very end, because I wanted to put some kids page boy and bridesmaid type clothes on mannequins upstairs. So I got rid of some of the mannequins down here, but this is the kind of side window, and then I wanted to make it really bright and breezy inside, so I was going to put in some plants and just have them as fake plants, but actually what I ended up doing was using some central columns. I've seen other people do this before on builds where they make a glass corridor and then fill that with planting, and I thought that looked super cool, so I did that. So yeah. I'm just adding in lighting now to brighten the whole place up, and I really like these futuristic solar system type lights. I think they look really cool. Lots of mirrors obviously to make the space seem bigger, and then also so you can see, well, your sim can see what they look like in their dress. And then again, I forgot that you probably want to sell more than just a few outfits, so I needed to put in some tables with some other things that you would sell in this kind of shop. And I don't know, I just did a few bridal bouquet type things. I didn't probably I could have done some sets of white shirts maybe, or even some towels. I suppose you could have made those a bit like linens, but I think I just did some regular wedding flowers. What am I doing now? Oh, I'm just putting in the mannequins. So I went very English, everybody can be who they want to be type windows. So I have a male and a female getting married, a male and male, and a female and a female. Why not? I have some Let's Plays with some same-sex couples, so I thought it was important that they could also visit this store and get what they wanted for their weddings. So this is where I'm going to put a few flowers and things to buy. I moved it from there because I thought it spoiled the look from the window of just seeing the mannequins, and I created a little glass table, changing this to a black table now so all the tables look the same. Adding in some extra lights. I really liked these lights, but I thought it was a mirror, and then I thought maybe you have to put a mirror inside it somehow with the lights around, but then I couldn't figure out how you did that. So is that just a frame with lights around it and you have to pretend there's a mirror there? Or I don't know, I'm not really sure. I got a bit confused by that one, so I just got rid of it in the end and just filled the whole place with with regular mirrors, and then I put in carpeting, because obviously you don't want your dress to get snagged on anything, and then a seat for you to sit down on. I know that when you have your dress fitted, you have to practice sitting down to make sure that you can actually enjoy sitting down in your wedding dress, and that you can actually eat the food that you've paid such a horrific amount for. So this is pretty much what the downstairs is going to look like. I'm just putting some potential bouquets, I'm not sure, of flowers on the table there. Very pale whites, nothing too bright. And I think all of these look like they could be bridal wedding flowers. I went a bit crazy there with pink flowers. God, stop. And then behind the till, I put in a couple of the, I was going to put in the clouds, but I thought that ended up looking lame, so I put in some of the first simoleon things in a stack. I thought it could be first simoleon, then first, 1,000, and then first 10,000 or something like that. Adding in all the little bits that you need to make it into a proper store. And I'd liked that table, and I thought I'll use that upstairs, and then I completely forgot about it and didn't end up putting it in. So putting in the flowers now to make the shop look a bit brighter. I think I went with Alice in Wonderland type rose bushes in the end, because they looked quite neat and manicured, and I thought that's probably what the owner of this shop did. I actually gave this shop to the Barbie that I play in my in my games. So Barbie runs this shop. It's not quite pretty and pink as Barbie would perhaps have it, but I thought it was quite cute. So just checking that the downstairs has finished. And then moving on to the upstairs. So this is the apartment. So to the left, that little room is going to be an office, and the upstairs, the little corridor area, is just a kind of extra show space, maybe where the kids would come and look for their costumes. It's not a costume, where they would look for their outfits. Putting any old random flowers in here that looked kind of nice in a somewhat patterned sequence. And then a few outside as well. I don't know, maybe I got rid of those, or did I keep them in? I can't quite remember. And then I thought I would make a separate area, like a show area, with the same black wood that I had downstairs. So the whole thing carries through really nicely. I don't know, I think the whole shop is kind of cool. I've played it a couple of times, and there doesn't seem to be any glitches. When I actually played it live myself, the flowers, some of them didn't download properly, so I had to buy a few of them. And I didn't realise that when people buy the costume, they leave in it. So some people are leaving fully dressed as a bride, ready to go. But actually, what was cool was I messed around with this in the building of the shop, the actual building. I put on the roof a reception area, and then I changed it, and then I made it into so you could actually get married there as well. But then I got rid of the whole thing and thought that people could just do whatever they wanted up there. So you could set it up so maybe you'd get married somewhere else, and then you would do a second party the next day where you had like a barbecue up there or something. It's quite a nice view, and it's grassed, and you can get to it up 2 sets of stairs at the back of the building. Or you could actually just put an arch up there and have your whole wedding there. I thought that was kind of a cool idea. I got the idea because I think I saw The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recently, and somebody got married at Lisa Vanderpump's Pump restaurant, and I thought that was kind of cool. And I thought maybe here it would be cool for people to get married by Barbie, so she could be ordained and she could marry people, and then it would be a thing. So this is going to be the office area, nice and light and pastel and weddingy. So you could come up and arrange exactly what it is you wanted. So I wanted to make it that you had to walk through the office to get into the shop from outside, or if you were on the upstairs shop part, then you had to walk again through the office to get to the studio apartment that will be upstairs. So this is just me finishing it off, and I'm trying to do some contrasting colours here. So I've got yellow and purple, which I quite like. I haven't used before, but I think I might use that in one of my house builds. I feel like I'm very slowly getting better at doing house builds and outside builds. At the moment I'm trying to do a kind of Turkish themed Arabian style club or bar, much in the style of where I'm living at the moment, so that's going quite well. So hopefully I'll have that up on the gallery soon. And this building is actually doing, I put it up on the gallery a couple of days ago and it's doing pretty well, so I'm glad that people are liking it and downloading it. It's quite exciting when people like what you do, and you realise that they're going to be putting it in their games. So this is a little studio apartment. I went with a really pale theme for this because I have my Barbie character playing it, but you could change it if it was a man running the store, or, I mean, not that he couldn't love this style, but if you had a different character with a different style, then you could change it to that, obviously. And I just had as a studio apartment with everything open apart from the bathroom, because I thought you wouldn't be spending a whole lot of time here. It's just where you crash after a long day at work, in case you didn't want to have the loading page and go back to your original home. Sorry if you can hear a plane in the background, that's just me living next to an international airport, and I get this from about 9:30 at night until about 6 a.m, and then hopefully it stops, and then a few during the day. So this is me changing around the kitchen. I did try make it a kitchen where you walk straight into it, but then I ended up making a galley style kitchen that was long and narrow, much like where I have lived before in the past. And I added in some cupboards above the oven, and then I added in some bar stools. I didn't put a dining room table in again because I didn't think that you would be socialising here that much. You might have a few staff meetings, you might have somebody crash, I don't know, after a night out or something, but you're not going to be living here full time. I wouldn't have thought. Maybe you will. Maybe you will, let me know. I like these where you can see the plates and things in them. I think that's really cool, and I love that there's loads of different shapes that you can put above as your upper units. There's narrow ones and longer ones and full length ones. I think it's really a good development for the Sims 4 game as compared to the Sims 3. I'm just making a little bedroom nook here. There's probably going to be a circular carpet coming up as per my preferred style. Here goes another plane again, sorry about that. I was going to put yellow in to have yellow and pink, but I thought that the blue-grey looked a little bit better, and I really like that Vista painting. It's one of my favourite paintings. I put it in most of my residential builds. There's a few things that I tend to use in every single one. That circular carpet is definitely one of them, as is the Vista, the Mountain Vista painting. There's a couple of TVs that I like, and at the moment I also quite like putting the TVs, a little TV just on top of a fireplace or something like that. I've got a semi-detached brick house that I play as my non-cheating game, which is actually really hard. It's really hard to save money in Sims 4 with the not cheating. I found it was really hard to get promoted and save money. I was poor for absolutely ages. So normally I cheat and have luxury immediately and barely get a job and just swan about doing nothing. But this took ages to get money. So check out that on the Sims gallery as well if you wanted to start up from nothing. I've got the original starter home, which is under 20,000, but then I've got what it looks like afterwards as well. I've got some screenshots here from the outside and the inside. Thank you for joining me again today. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed making this build, and I hope you come back and join me in the next video if you manage to find this dark corner of the internet again. Alright, see you later. Bye!